crystia.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. Mark Holland is, well, a very questionable Liberal MP when it comes to Justin Trudeau's Liberal caucus. Now, we've covered Mark Holland to a great extent on this channel, especially during his bizarre unhinged rants, and we have another one for you today where in his unhinged rant in Parliament he talked about going on summer vacation. As summer kicks off, of course, he said that it was 10 hours or more in the car with no bathroom breaks while children were just going to watch the planet burn. This man is completely off the rails, and he was actually holding different interviews over the last week talking about the decimated, defeated loss for the Liberals in St. Paul ridings in Toronto. We're going to cover that, but first I want to talk about this video's sponsor, well, Unacceptable Fringe. Unacceptable Fringe Books has something new and exciting to share with each and every one of you. Our newest book and possibly final book entry into our series of political satire books, Just Axe the Tax, a parody of Dr. Seuss's Green Eggs and Ham, is now available on Amazon. Over the last few years, it's been my absolute pleasure to bring you hit titles such as How the Prime Minister Stole Freedom, One Face, Two Face, Blackface, Blueface, Hold the Line, The Ballad of Tamara Leach, and How the Prime Minister Broke Canada. All of these best-selling books have been an absolute thrill to write for you, but with each book releasing, we always want to give back to the community as well and try to help Canadians in some shape or form and another. This time, I'm proud to announce that proceeds from every purchase of our books on Amazon will be going towards helping local Canadian food banks at a time when the Prime Minister has made affordability very difficult for common Canadian households. At Unacceptable Fringe Books, not only are we committed to giving you humor in political entertainment, but we are also committed to giving Canadians a boost at a time when they're in need or looking for some form of assistance. Head over to Amazon.com or Amazon.ca right now and pick up your copy of Just Axe the Tax and give yourself the gift of a little bit of laughter at a time when everyone in this country could definitely use some. Link is down below in the description. Now, just keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, if you are as fed up with the economy as we are, well, you can pick up your copy of Just Axe the Tax over on Amazon right now, and every sale has a portion of its funding going towards helping local food banks again. It would be great to see this book become another #1 bestseller. Make sure to go down below, grab your copies. It helps support the channel, and it also helps get you something and helping those at a time where people are in need. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about Mark Holland and his unhinged rants in regard to the devastating loss in St. Paul's. But first, I want to show a little bit of what is happening on the other side of the spectrum. We've seen time and time again as the Liberals, as the lefty loonies talk about how, well, we've got this one in the bag. Justin Trudeau is fully capable of handling the next election. He has our support. We've seen Crystia Freeland backing him up. We've seen his alleged mistress backing him up as well, saying that they have confidence with him heading into the next election despite the very weak polls. But when it comes to coping, when it comes to the salty tears that are flowing as a result of what happened in St. Paul, let's take a look at what Rebel News uncovers here. Liberal organizer blames Jews for Toronto by-election loss. He says it was election interference by Jewish MP Melissa Lantsman, who sent letters to the Jewish community over Trudeau's track record. If you want to talk about hate speech, we all know that Justin Trudeau is trying to champion hate speech. Look no further than his own party. Let's play this clip, and then we're going to get to Mark Holland after that.
How do you feel about the Liberal loss last night of this riding?
I'm surprised. She was leading by 700, and then woke up this morning and it was about 590 for Stewart.
Why do you think that is?
I think there was electoral interference by Melissa Lantsman. She sent letters to the Jewish community to vote for Conservative.
Is that considered electoral interference?
I think she represents Thornhill, not Toronto.
What about Chrystia Freeland coming on the same day as polling?
Leslie Church worked for Chrystia Freeland.
Would that be considered election interference, though, if Chrystia Freeland came and gave a speech in the riding the same day as the election?
No, that's an endorsement.
No, that's an endorsement. This is, again, the rhetoric and the belief structure system of these lunatics, these WACKO liberal supporters in Toronto. Oh, I blame Melissa Lantsman for coming out and supporting the Conservative candidate, while the Liberal candidate got an endorsement from the Deputy Prime Minister of Canada because she worked for her. Real important post here from Ryan Garrettson. And again, I've seen this in mass coverage. We've seen Rebel News driving their van past this location on Election Day. And of course, this gentleman's been here for quite some time. How many times did Leslie and her team step over this man over the past couple of weeks? This picture sums up 9 years under the Trudeau government perfectly. And again, this is nobody's helping this gentleman. Nobody's giving him any kind of assistance. For a Liberal Party who claims that they care about diversity, that diversity is their strength, that they care about propping up Canadians, that they want to make sure every Canadian, that they have their backs. Well, they don't have this gentleman's back. In fact, as we talk about Ezra Levant's van, you'll remember I reported on that in Toronto. And again, this comes back to the double standards that we see outside of Toronto voters and many across Canada. I'm not just painting Toronto here, but it says here, do you think this messaging on this truck is a hate crime or hate speech? If so, why? How is this anything worse than what the pro-Hamas and terrorist flag wavers have been doing and chanting over the past few months? And of course, we see Ezra Levant's van here, where failed installed woke mayor Olivia Chow said that they were looking into charges against Ezra Levant for driving this van around asking, is this Canada? I mean, there's I don't see anything wrong with it, especially when you relate to what that last gentleman said about the Jewish community kiboshing church's election in St. Paul's. But then, of course, when it says is this hate speech underneath, no, it's not, because this truck is in the same city. It wasn't considered a hate speech. It says Zionism is terrorism. Again, I try not to play either side of the field when it comes to what's happening. I just simply take in what's going on. If you're going to classify one thing as hate speech, you have to classify them all. I'm keeping the politics out of it and saying what's good for the goose is good for the gander. You either have to charge everybody or nobody. And that essentially is the issue moving forward. Now, when we get into, again, more hatred coming out of this and failed liberal policies. Again, I'm getting to Mark Holland because that's the top of the cherry on the sundae. Again, welcome to Canada. Where are the charges? This is assault. Again, double standards when it comes to everything, much like we're seeing with the Delta of this loss. Let's take a look at what happened to Rebel News reporter Alexa Lavoie. Antifa pro-Hamas thugs ambush myself and producer for reporting on anti-Israeli encampment inside a Montreal public park. Now, again, this encampment is allowed to be up there, allowed to essentially seize a park, much like Seattle's Chad, or whatever they call it, Chaz. I can't remember exactly where they overtook the city. But they're allowed to do these things. The police don't interfere. And when Alexa Lavoie is assaulted, trying to do her job, of course, the police actually standing next to her, doing nothing. Let's take a look.
Rebel News!
Hey!
Rebel News! True!
Touche pas, c'est une agression que tu fais.
Hey, touche, arrête! Hey, va-t'en!
Rebel News, décollez! Rebel News, décollez! Rebel News, décollez! Bye bye bye!
So right there, you can see the police over here to the left. She's been sprayed with paint She has paint all over her outfit. And of course, the police stand there. They do nothing. In fact, I'm not going to play the rest of the video. You should head over to Rebel News to check it out. Of course, the police sit there and say, well, you should get out of here then. You should just leave. That is assault. I don't care how you define that. It's assault. Now, the reason I bring all of this up before we get into Mark Holland, because people are probably saying, what does pro-Hamas have to do with Mark Holland and his unhinged rants? This is the coping of those on that side. Again,
How do you feel about the
gentleman who is a liberal organizer for Leslie Church coming out and saying, well, it's the Jews that did it. It's their fault we lost the by-election. This is where we get unhinged rants like Mark Holland. So, of course, here we got a tweet out from friend of the channel, Marty Up North. I think Prime Minister is a person of extraordinary integrity, says Mark Holland. How can he say that with a straight face? Canada's health con man and member of the Trudeau crime family, Mark Holland, claims PM Justin Trudeau is a man of extraordinary integrity and thinks Canadians are clueless about Canadian politics. Let's take a look.
But Minister, you were saying that Canadians care about dental care and pharmacare. In that riding, though, one of the main reasons a lot of people pointed to for why they voted, they said that Prime Minister Justin Trudeau shouldn't stay on as leader. Do you think he should stay on as leader?
Absolutely. I think the Prime Minister is a person of extraordinary integrity who has carried this nation through some incredibly difficult times.
How concerned are you that more voters are not thinking the way that you are? Actually, the majority in polls are showing that they think that your party would be better off without Justin Trudeau at the helm.
Well, look, the day before I was nominated in 2004, people said, why are you running? There are going to be 250 Liberals elected under Paul Martin. You're going to be one of a countless number of MPs. There's no point in going. The day after my nomination, the news cycle changed, polls changed, and people said, why are you running? You can't get elected. In 20 years of politics, I've learned people like to pretend they know what's happening. They have no idea. No one has any idea what's happening a week from now. I think we spend entirely too much time prognosticating about things we have no knowledge of.
That is an understatement coming from, you don't know what's happening in the background. You don't know what's being done in the background. Again, it makes me question, what does Mark Holland know that the rest of us don't know? Again, Mark Holland losing it. Had it talking about St. Paul's. Good friend of the channel, Bradshaw, Mark Holland unhinged again. Wow, he's saying that what he did to conservatives, he's saying what did the Conservatives do by winning St. Paul's is absolutely nothing. Mark saying St. Paul's votes don't matter. Again, this is equivalent to Chrystia Freeland coming out saying that anybody who votes Conservatives are cold, cruel. Again, back to the good old small fringe minority. Let's take a listen to Mark Holland losing it, because he's probably sick and tired of talking about it. Again, let's take a
They were examined on Monday in Toronto, St. Paul. Well, I mean, look, the walls of Fortress.
What did they do?
They won Toronto, St. Paul's. They breached Fortress Toronto. Like, that matters, though, Minister. That matters.
I mean, come on. What did they do? What did the Conservatives do? They came in and they said everything that's wrong in the world. No, because people are upset for sure, and then it's in a by-election where there is no consequences to flipping the seat. And right now, who's happy about the world? Like, it's tough out there. I don't care. You go to any country. I don't care where you go. These are difficult, difficult times. People are frustrated with that. So, yeah, congratulations to the Conservatives. They got people to agree that the world is tough right now.
I mean, all I can say to Mark Holland is cope. Right? This is the image of what the Liberal Party of Canada is right now. In fact, Nick Nanos was up on a interview show recently talking about how multiple Toronto ridings can be seen projected to go to Conservatives in the next election, which has the Liberals scared. Now, as I've stated before, I think it's over for Justin Trudeau. I think this is the end. Summer is going to get very, very interesting, and I am willing to bet that by September, we will either see him stand down or we may see him just outright call an election. Wouldn't it be nice to see him call an election just to screw over Jagmeet Singh when it comes to him propping up the Liberals all this time, him standing behind Justin Trudeau only to find out that Trudeau pulls the rug out from underneath him and kind of destroys his pension, destroys his future. Decimates his party. I mean, talk about I guess a perfect ending. I would like to see it. I don't know if we're going to see it. Many think Trudeau is going to ride out the storm, that he's going to make it to 2025. I sure hope he does, because nothing would give me greater joy than to watch Pierre Poilievre absolutely cream Justin Trudeau. And again, the salty tears coming out of the Liberals as we're seeing here. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that this is going to be more pressure on Trudeau? Do you understand what it is? Does anybody done a welfare check on Mark Holland? Has anybody seen why he's behaving this way? Maybe somebody should take a look into that. But let me know what you guys think down below. If it's your first time here, I hope this video has earned your subscription. Make sure as you're clicking that subscribe button, you turn on your bell for notifications. Join us live here on the channel each and every Friday night for Friday Night Fringe, our weekly live streaming show that starts at 6 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Central, here on the channel each and every Friday night. I always look forward to chatting to you guys inside of those streams, outside of making these videos, and hearing what you guys have to say. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there in those live streams. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day. I'll catch you on the next one.